Good afternoon, everyone. Happy Thursday. And Grant Pugh joined by Omar Tello. Welcome to our Going to the Hoop preview show every Thursday, Omar.
That's right, Grant. We are live on our website, mywabashvalley.com, to get you set for a big weekend of hoops.
And it really does start tonight. More on that in just a second. But let's start with not one, but two teams who are still alive in the girls' high school basketball state tournament in Indiana this weekend. Let's take a look, shall we? First up in Class 2A, how about those Linton Miners? They were regional champs for the first time in school history. Linton beating Eastern Saturday night down in Paoli, 43-33. Miners have been outstanding in the state tourney, getting contributions from everyone. Now they have their sights set on the first semi-state title in Miner history this upcoming weekend, Omar.
That's right, Grant. Over in Class A, the number one Lagodi Lions are also still standing as well. Lagodi winning their first regional since 2002 over the weekend down at West Washington. Head coach Brian Smith's team beating Tecumseh 53-47 in the regional championship Sunday night. The Lady Lions are 23-2 on the season, and their last loss, get this, came against Linton. Oddly enough, back on January 25th, they will play Greenwood Christian, who knocked off North Central in the regional championship Saturday at Southwestern. So that's two Indiana teams still alive heading into this weekend. And here's what the bracket looks like down at Jasper Saturday. It's Lagodi and Greenwood Christian up first at 4 p.m. Eastern time from Jasper, followed by Linton and number one Triton Central, who also happens to be 26-0 around 6:30. Let's just call it a Wabash Valley takeover down in Jasper, where the winners advance to the state finals next weekend.
What a sight that will be on Saturday. How about some girls high school basketball tonight? 34-0 Paris Tigers, who are also ranked number one in the state of Illinois. Tigers playing tonight for the sectional championship against T-Town. Here's how they got there. Check out earlier this week, Paris hosting St. Joseph Ogden. Winner advances to the sectional championship. First quarter, how about Carrington Crable slicing through the defense for this layup off the glass. Paris up by 3. Second quarter, Lady Tigers in transition. It's Jenna Gates over to Sarah Isaac for the pull-up 3. She rattles that one home. Paris is up by 11. Later in the quarter, it's Sarah on the move again. Misses the layup, rebounded by Ogden, but then Ogden defender falls down. Madison Rigdon, right place, right time. Scoop and score. Tigers up 28-13. First half winding down, it's Gates over to Isaac again for another three-pointer splash. Paris would lead this one 39-21 at half. How about a running clock in the fourth quarter as Sarah Isaac scoring 30 points. Paris wins big 62-35. They will play for the sectional championship tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern over in Paris against T-Town. Here's what tonight is shaping up to be: a big basketball night. It's Indiana State hosting the top team in the Missouri Valley Conference, Northern Iowa, 7 p.m. Holman Center. Be there or be square tonight. That's your college hoops fix. Then over in Paris, 8 p.m. Eastern, it's the Tigers against Hootopolis for that sectional title. And down in Linton, how about a non-conference matchup on a Thursday? It's the Marshall Lions making the trip for the 8:30, a later tip Eastern time, against the Linton Miners. Should be a lot of fun. The last time we saw Marshall earlier this week, check this out, on the road at Robinson. Senior night for the Maroons. They have the lead. They will add to it here. Cade Lassen works around, step back 3. It's 26-11. Home team. Later, another senior for Robinson. Brayden Childress going through not one, but 2 Marshall defenders for this basket. Robinson giving Marshall fits. Remember, Casey lost down there on the road as well. Things will slow down, though. How about Jesse Burdick, the senior for Marshall? Just a good pass from Jacob Schaffner. That's 2 points. Later, the Lions move the rock around again. Eventually find Jesse Burdick. He makes these plays look easy, Omar. 2 more points. Marshall back within it, but Lassen, he had 24 in this game. Finds Nick Weber for a drive and pull-up Jay. 2 more. Maroons are up by 16, 35-19 and a half. How about one more for Mr. Brayden Childress? He joined the 1,000-point club last week. How about 30 on senior night against Marshall? Dashing, and slashing to the hoop. Robinson gets perhaps their biggest win of the season against Marshall. 70-58 the final. How about those Maroons picking up the big dub, Omar?
That's right, Grant. How about West Vigo hosting Cloverdale earlier this week? Start of the fourth quarter. Clover's down, but still fighting. They force the turnover. Then it's Kyle Thomas cashing it in for 2 of his 16 points. The Vikings, though, answer back. It's Hannes to Lautenschlager to Dane Andrews for 2, and West Vigo leads by 20 points. Good to see him back and healthy. Vikings in transition a little later. Sean Roberts to Ethan Burgess to Andrews for the 2, plus the foul for the 3-point play. He led all scorers, Grant, with 23 points. Clover still shooting. Mark Gill pulling up for the jumper, and he chips into the West Vigo lead. Then it's Nolan Kelly attacking. The basket falling down and connecting on this runner. However, West Vigo too much. Roberts up around and down here. for 2 more. He had 16. The Vikings win it 64-44. They might be getting hot at the right time there, Grant.
Yeah, West Eagle will host North Central Saturday on senior night. College basketball tonight, though. We touched on it a second ago. The ISU Sycamores certainly took one on the chin to Missouri State. On Sunday, they have had plenty of time to rest up for this one.
That's right. It's Indiana State and Northern Iowa. Grant, you're heading there for that one at 7 p.m. at the Holman Center. Sycamores fighting to avoid Thursday in the Arch Madness tournament.
Here's what we know about the Trees right now. Sycamores have dropped 3 in a row, 7-7 in the Valley. Tonight is certainly big because Missouri State and Valpo both lost last night. They are 7-8 in the Moval, so a loss to the Sycamores tonight puts them in that logjam group of teams that would be 7-8 in the Moval. Northern Iowa has a 1-game lead over Loyola. They have the best record in the conference, so we'll see. Tonight is key for both. Here's how the week pretty much went for Coach Lansing and the Sycamores.
We're going to practice, and we're going to practice hard because I'm not pleased with that at all. I'm not pleased with our body language. We haven't shown that. Even when we were struggling at the start of the year, we haven't shown that, and that's not acceptable. Well, I can't remember what we cut it to as the best was a 4. Cut it to 4 and had a couple substitutions, and all of a sudden it's a transition basket, uncontested 3 because of our lack of communication, and our transition defense took a step back tonight. I mean, it was really poor. And then again, I can't get over how we were acting down the stretch, so it's going to stick with me a little bit.
We know they have practiced hard. They are ready for a big one tonight.
Yeah.
Tyreek Key, a guy you look at tonight, got banged up a little on Sunday.
Yeah.
He is cleared, ready to go for tonight. He only had 3 on Sunday. You're going to need a big night from him, hopefully a big night from senior Christian Williams and senior Jordan Barnes as well.
And that was, I think, the key, Grant, because like normally you would typically expect more from Tyreek Key, typically 17 to 20 points. So that was, I think, part of that, and that was what led to such a big lead, kind of a lopsided score, not typical of the Sycamores, but hopefully they can bounce back. As you mentioned, only 2 home games left.
Hard to believe. Yeah, we were talking before the show started. If ISU can at least go 2-2, they've got 4 games left, trying to avoid that play-in day Thursday in St. Louis in the Moval tourney. You've seen how crazy the Valley has been this year. This tourney could be wide open, but what a test tonight against Northern Iowa.
Yeah, that's the top team coming in, and you kind of judge yourself against them, and hopefully they'll bounce back from the game on Sunday.
You're heading to Paris tonight as well. The Lady Tigers look to make it 35-0.
It's funny. I really think they have a great shot to win, Grant, because the last time I went there, they played the same team, Topless, and they really pretty much had a 10-point lead throughout, so that's who they have tonight. So if they can kind of replicate that same effort, of course, with Topless, they're going to want to obviously play a little better with a lot on the lane tonight.
And Sarah scored 30 the other night, but Paris is so deep, anyone can score on any given night for this team.
Yeah, Carrington, Crable, just so much talent. You know, Madison we saw earlier, so there's such a well-balanced team. And I think the key thing is if they can avoid any adversity, because I don't think they've really been tested that much this season. So we'll see. Hopefully they can get the win and set themselves up for next week.
And what a tune-up for tonight. The Marshall Lions will open the state tournament in Illinois next week. How about it? You want to test, travel down to Minortown and score off with the Linton Miners, 2 of our best teams going at it.
Yeah, that's going to be an outstanding game, you know, and I think we saw last week with Marshall and Sullivan what an outstanding game that was. So Linton, very similar team, a lot of deep teams for both, so that should be a really good game.
Should be a lot of fun. We'll have you covered tonight at 11 on WTWO, ISU against Northern Iowa, Paris Sectional Championship, and Linton and Marshall. Thanks for watching our Going to the Hoop preview show. We are live every Thursday to preview the best high school basketball around the Valley. We'll see you next week.